Ross McNutt is trying out a new goatee. He likes to quote Monty Python.
What is the terminal velocity of a fully laden sparrow?
But spend some time with him, and sooner or later, he's going to start talking about murder.
There was just a shooting on Gilmore Street yesterday. Lawrence and Pressman, there was a shooting on that nearby here. I think there was a murder just one street over.
Ross is not a morbid news junkie. The reason he knows about all these shootings is because he saw them happen. In fact, he could bear witness to almost 18,000 crimes over the past few months. Right now, he's pulling into a parking lot in West Baltimore to show us how he sees it all.
They got us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just got a text?
Yeah. He said, "Gotcha."
That text had come from Ross's office, miles away in downtown Baltimore.
Hey, Alex, what's going on?
So this is your guys in the parking lot right here.
It's a little hard to tell, but this image actually is us in the parking lot. And it was taken from a plane that we could just barely see off in the distance while we were there.
I think that's us up there.
And frankly, it wouldn't be that impressive if this was the only image the plane took. But the camera wasn't pointed at us specifically. The plane was taking a picture of the entire 30-mile wide radius of West Baltimore. That's one 30-mile image every second, all day, every day. And that is what it takes to witness 18,000 crimes.
This is one of our aircraft. It's the one we're using here in Baltimore. This is our camera system. It's 192 million pixels, which makes it about equivalent to 800 video cameras at once. And everything is fed down to the ground live through our data links here. We do wide area surveillance. We watch cities at a time in order to assist law enforcement in lowering crime rates. We're essentially a Google Earth Live with TiVo capability that allows us to follow people to and from crime scenes.
Here's how it works. Ross and his team listen to emergency calls and police scanners to find the time and place of reported crimes. They go to the live feed that their plane is sending down and start to scroll back and forth through time to actually see the crime take place.
So right here you can actually see two cars that match the description from the 911 calls. The cars leave the scene here, and we're going to try to follow those cars and see if we can find a final location that they go to. And we'll also follow them backwards in time to see if we can figure out where they came from.
When Ross has enough information, he compiles a report, hands it off to the Baltimore police, and then it's on to the next crime.
After about 7 hours of doing that, your hand gets a little tired. Your eyeballs get tired first. There's a reason we call our analysts squints. We've started off in Philadelphia at one point. We did operations here in Baltimore previously. We've done operations in Indianapolis, Compton, Nogales, Torreon, Charlotte, and now we're back here in Baltimore, and we hope to be here forever.
Forever is where things start to get complicated. To date, no city has signed on for a long-term contract. Why? Well, it might have something to do with money. For a year of surveillance, Ross charges about $2 million. But that's less than the cost of flying a police helicopter. More likely, it has to do with that big elephant in the room.
Some people believe that there are privacy issues and that those privacy issues outweigh the ability to solve the crime. In the United States, we become very willing to accept security cameras in banks, in businesses, at homes, now on street corners. And that's because we found that they're effective in helping to reduce crime. And that makes us all safer. So those are trade-offs that we've been willing to make.
In 2014, Ross marched right into the ACLU headquarters and met with the man who should probably be his arch nemesis.
When he came in and presented his technology to me and tried to sort of persuade me that the privacy issues were not as big as I thought, I thought he was banging his head against the wall, because really this kind of wide area, mass, persistent surveillance is a huge threat to privacy.
This is Jay Stanley. He's the ACLU's leading voice in the fight against technology-related privacy issues.
We could probably stop some crimes if we let the government put a camera in everybody's kitchen and bedroom. But we've decided, as a society, we're not going to go there.
Ross's plane isn't a crime-solving crystal ball. And that, he says, helps protect privacy. Looking at these images, it's pretty easy to see the limitations. You can't put handcuffs on one of these blobs. And even cross-referencing ground cameras is not always a sure thing.
A lot of people are used to the CSI, where they show, hey, from this ATM camera, we're going to zoom in on the reflection off the back of the mirror and read the license plate. It just doesn't work that way. We see a lot of crime. And, one of my frustrations is that we don't have enough analysts to look at all the crime that we see. You don't have that much detail on it. You just have the fact that here was a reported rape of a 12-year-old at this house.
Does it affect you?
Yes. Give me a sec. It does. I've got 3 daughters. It pisses me off.
It's pretty clear Ross believes that his surveillance is a win for everyone. But getting law enforcement officials to agree, let alone the public, is proving to be a tough sell.
There's no question that in some circumstances, any technology is going to save the day. For us, it's not about him, it's not about his company. It's about, do we want to allow the government to track everybody's whereabouts in an entire city at once with one camera in the sky? The technology is now here to do that, and we have to make a decision as a society. Do we want to go down this road?